Hi everyone, we are back and we are here with a review and impressions of CRYMACHINA. Now, this is available for PlayStation 5, the PS4, Switch, and the PC. The story basically is you play as this girl named Leben who is about to die and wakes up years later, awakened by a Deus Ex Machina known as Enoa, who is trying to, restore the world. But, things have happened and there's a war kind of sounds like it's going on between the other Deus Ex Machina in the world. So trying to regain balance of sorts. But also, like, the idea of Leben and along with two other characters, Makoto and Amy, becoming human again. So, like, the story itself, I think is kind of interesting. It did provide an interesting kind of twist and, like, kind of style. I just feel its narrative is not the best told when you're playing it, but that ties into progression, which I'll get to that in a minute. But in terms of how story progresses itself, is you'll have story missions that you play through along with side quests that you have to unlock using specific codes. And not all of them will be made on the main menu. There are on like the mission select screen. There are some that can only be used throughout the code, so you'll have to keep track of those when you're playing through. But in terms of how story progresses, you'll have the story missions, but they're tied to these tea party sequences, which almost feel like little intermissions of sorts. And the game won't let you progress until you watch some of them. Now, there are some that are optional, and they are worth watching though, because you will get ego points that you can use to level up not only Anoa, but even, say, special parts of the three characters, which will come into play later in the game. But in terms of how leveling is, it almost feels kind of restricted and superficial. And restricted in the sense that you'll have to get to a certain level, but then the game will stop you at a level. But then when you complete a story mission, the game will unlock more levels for you to level up. So when you hit that cap, then you've hit that cap, but then you have to complete the next story mission and the next like main story missions, and then it will unlock the levels even further. So that, I think, is a little weird, because some of the side missions that you unlock, some of them are going to be higher level than you are, so you'll have a problem like getting to those. So keep that in mind if you do that. And like, you will level up your character as well, like as you're getting EXP, which is also tied into humanity of sorts, but that's also tied into the story stuff. But it's just, standard stats. You'll also get additional weapons and like chips for them that can unlock special abilities that you can use during combat, which is tied to like L1 and R1, at least playing it on the PlayStation. But in terms of how combat works, it's an action RPG through and through. So you have your standard attacks, you also have a launcher attack, you have a parry button, you also have a dash. And I feel like the windows for parrying and dash are a little bit weird when it comes to that. It's not perfect, and I never felt like I really got the hang of it. Combat did feel pretty responsive, and it also was somewhat satisfying. But also other things into the combat, you also have like a ranged weapon as well with your characters. And you also have abilities which you can go into overdrive, you can also heal, and you can also do a ranged attack. Now, I feel when it comes to using those abilities, it's tied to using the D-pad, and in order to use it, you kind of have to do a weird thing with your hands in order to get it to work. I found that kind of off-putting, and it kind of disrupted the flow of combat, which it's okay, but the game pretty much shows its whole hand to you within like the first hour or two. I mean, you do have things like the ego you'll earn, and you can use that to unlock new weapons or even chips, which you give to Anoa, which has a really cool animation, by the way. But other than that, like, I didn't really feel that invested when it came to gameplay, and its story stuff again, while cool, it did feel off to me. A little bit off-putting, or just like hard to kind of follow or go with its flow. So it's a decent game, at least when it comes to those aspects, but you kind of have to power your way through it though. The one thing for me that saves it is it's just its presentation. I think it looks good. The one difference, at least between this and Crystar, which is the previous game, is that I believe Crystar ran on Unity, but this one runs on Unreal Engine, and it looks good. I think the models look good. Environments, while sparse, which fits with its theme of what they're doing, I think it looks good. I think it actually looks relatively good, and the music is actually not too bad as well. When it comes to that, same with the voice acting, which kind of fits, but it feels almost a little monotone sometimes. But I do have an issue with presentation, and that is reflections. I feel like this could be an engine thing, but I feel like it's really off-putting when you see part of it, and then it disappears, and then it reappears, and then it disappears again, depending on camera angles. But it's a weird quirk with it. But I mean, like, this game was okay. It's just the biggest problem for me. It's just boring to play and to go through. Like, I know there's a good game underneath it. There is a good game underneath it, and if you power through it, you'll get there. I just feel like, I don't know. It's asking a little bit too much, though. If you are curious, though, I believe there is still a demo available, so please try that out. Try it first, see what you think, and then go from there. But otherwise, I'd just say, it's okay. It's okay. It's not great. It's not bad. It's just in the middle. With that, though, I have to give a shout out and thank you to NIS for providing me a review copy of this. Thank you. I truly appreciate it, and for giving this opportunity. I thank all of you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I know it's a little bit shorter, and I used clips from the stream, so I'd like to hear your feedback on that. What did you think of it? Please leave your feedback in the comments below. Don't forget, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and, you know, turn on notifications so you know when a new video goes live. So again, I thank all of you for watching. I truly appreciate it. So until next time, stay safe, and I will see you in the next one.